Yeah,
You pulled it up and we were playing with it. That was cool.
yeah. We've played around with audio production, so
Yeah.
yeah, why not? That's a good idea. Um, yeah, I think maybe that's a good idea. Maybe next week or so we'll pull the. I'll have to I'll have to dig out the MIDI keyboard. I'll have to see if I have my MIDI cable still. Ooh, how do you hook up MIDI? I might have to see how you hook up MIDI keyboards to computers these days, because you used to go off the game port of your sound card.
You might be able to. In fact, I was looking at this one guy.
Oh,
you know,
wait, my
that
no,
goes.
my Delta 1010 LT has MIDI ins and outs. So actually, my
Cool.
sound card, yeah, I'm all set. I
Okay.
just need to find the cables and the adapters. Yeah, I might be able to do that next week. I'll have to run it by Jay Booger though and see if he approves, because
Of
clearly,
course.
I mean,
He's our production manager.
he's the reason we are here. We do this show for him, because he's made it clear that he is the one that needs to decide what is good, what is bad. Clearly, we are strictly and purely here for Jay Booger's entertainment.
Yes.
I did not realize this. And hello, kitty.
See,
Hello, kitty.
we thought that if you watch this show for the 2 hours or whatever the runtime is, approximately,
Yeah.
that we would offer no refund on any time lost while you're watching it.
Yeah.
But apparently, he is satisfied with watching a 2 hour show so that he can make notes and make
Explain.
comments. Make
Explain.
comments on our content.
Explain his disapproval in our show doing abilities. So we apologize for all the lost hours, but one thing I had to point out is Jay Booger has listened to our shows numerous times. Just about every time he's commented on a show, he has indicated A, that he absolutely hated it, and B, that he listened all the way through. So I kind of have to pose the question, why are you listening through? You know you've not liked past shows. You come into this show, you don't like where it's going. You figure by I give something 10 minutes. If I don't like
And
it after 10
he
minutes.
doesn't. Well, sure. Actually, to me, 10 minutes is a long time. We were talking earlier, pre-show, about a podcast. I went in about 4 minutes, and I couldn't see the point, so I stopped listening to it. And then we'll be talking about that later, but that's the way it goes.
I don't think you understand podcasts. Then again, here's what I do.
Well, I don't understand internet radio either, because to me, it's very much like a podcast. If you bore the listener, then he's not going to listen. I thought that was the idea.
I no, that is the idea.
That is the idea.
That is the idea. We are here.
That is the idea. Not.
Okay,
got it.
I actually, I've been looking for what my meaning in life is, and I've been waiting for a sign, and I've kind of realized
That was a brilliant idea, by the way.
Jay Booger is one of these people that needs to be tormented, and that is my
Yes.
purpose in life.
And perfect placement of your little cat
Yeah.
scratching post. It's just in view and back, and the cat was testing it out.
Yes.
So
yes.
good job. We get to be entertained, even if you don't like the show.
If
right?
anything, there might be cats periodically in the background.
That's right.
Oh, and we are now cat piss free again. So
Yay.
I only had to wash the sheets and blankets and comforters 3 times, although the 3rd time was for puke, not pee. So
well, puke just
yay.
happens.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Let's talk about cat psychology, because
Cat psychology, yes.
if you own multiple cats, you got to be a cat therapist. So we have 2 perfectly good cats that are perfectly fine if you only want to own 1 cat. And then we decide we got to get these guys together. And so Hestia likes the black one behind me. She kind of likes to keep to herself, doesn't like to be bothered, and is very scared and nervous. Shantiko,
the black one, black one is scared and nervous.
right?
Yeah.
Shantiko, the white one, will stalk and pounce the black one any opportunity she gets. Even
that's
if
her job,
right? Now, and the thing is like, that's fine if it's fun and games, but sometimes Hestia just wants to take a shit, and that is not an appropriate moment to run up and jump on someone. That's rude. I know that's rude by human standards. I think that's also rude by cat standards. I know cats and humans have very different ideas on behavior, but I think that's a universal standard. Don't run and jump on someone when they're taking a shit. I think that's a good rule to live your life by.
I think it is a universal rule.
I think even Jay Booger will agree with us on this. Do not run and jump on someone.
He does like to shit on us, but that's different.
Yeah, but notice we don't run and jump on him while he's taking a shit on us. We let him finish and release his shit, and then we jump back on him. So it's all about taking turns.
Yeah.
Now, because he's probably out there typing something now. It's got a nice steaming turd that he's getting ready to unleash on our channel here.
So before we get in trouble again, is our Skype line open?
Yes, but not to the right account.
Ooh.
Yeah. So,
darn. Sorry, Jay. You screwed up again.
Oh, that's okay.
Hey, and I haven't coughed yet. Yes.
I decided to cough weird for some reason.
The trouble is, I should have a mute button for a cough button, right?
Right.
Except I have multiple microphones going on. Because I could talk to Alexa. Say hello.
Hi there.
See, there you go.
There we go.
Hey, Google. Say hello.
Hi. What can I do for you?
Oh, see, he's far from the microphone than Alexa.
Yeah.
Let me move the mic.
We got some
both
level.
activated at the same time. Hello, both of you.
There we go.
I'm not sure.
Neither of them understand. Very good.
All right. Well, let's get logged into the proper Skype account. And, because we got all kinds of great material that Jay Booger loves our material. But we also should officially open up the official show with the official theme tune.
Well, do we get Venison on first?
Yeah. Is he trying to call in?
I don't know.
I don't know. Let's find out. If I make this the theme tune, then I could multitask this. But hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's usually late.
Now, Venison, I think we've come to something that we can all agree on in the human race on all walks of life. Is that you should not run and jump on someone while they're taking a shit.
See? It's universal.
Yeah, you'll be quite surprised if you do.
Yeah. Well, this is a rule that one of my cats has not figured out, because while the other cat's in the litter box, she'll, stalk her prey, take a run, jump right on her, right while she's, mid shit in the litter box, and that's not cool. And so we've been trying to kind of, we'll put Shantiko in timeout. We're like, okay, you're going on the other side of a fence. You'll go downstairs because Hestia sticks to the upstairs. Hestia rarely goes downstairs.
Okay, big question here.
Yeah.
Is the litter box an open source device?
Yeah, we didn't get litter boxes.
You didn't want the cover.
We didn't get the lids.
So it's open source.
Yeah. Now,
A
in
new
definition
definition of open source.
In hindsight, a lid
Hindsight,
might have.
good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Sorry.
gross.
What?
That was for Jay Booger. He complains that I interrupt everybody.
I'm not the.
Sorry,
You
man.
do.
I know.
It's a shame that you do that all the time.
Sorry.
Anyways. Yeah, we could have gotten a litter box lid, but we didn't. We got this great system that well, we've talked about that in the past. You don't want to know what our cats shit in. But yeah. So basically, I wanted to, we're trying to get them to get along, and trying to expose them to each other, let them work it out. And we reached a point now where at some point during last week, I'm getting ready to go to bed. And as I get into the bed, I notice something smells off. And it's not me. It's the blankets. It's the sheets. And there was still some wet, fresh cat urine on the sheets. So we had to strip the bed and throw everything in the washer.
Retaliation.
I did consider briefly. I considered a few options. I could piss in the cat's bed in retaliation, but I don't think the cat would like that. Or I could piss on my bed to claim it. Because no, you can't piss on this. I've been here first. I thought that might, but Kristen wasn't on board with that idea. But
as well, she wouldn't.
I thought it was sound logic, personally.
This is how cats express their displeasure.
Right. So the second
You pissed them off.
So the cat Hestia pissed on our bed a second time, and then Hestia pissed on the futon, and that's when I was like, okay, we got a problem, because we've had her 2 months. She's only been pissing for a few days. So that's when it's like, all right, we need to just separate them and keep them separated for a while, and get the piss to stop, and then figure out where to go from there. Which it might just be that we just keep them separated, because Shantico just doesn't want to give up the whole, I'm gonna, every time we get them somewhat near each other, at some point Shantico stops, Shantico stares, Shantico gets to the ground, and is just fixated on Hestia. And you know that as soon as that starts, it's just a matter of time before she runs, pounces, and attacks. And I don't know if Shantico's playing or seriously attacking, but Hestia don't like it. And she's let us know she don't like that 3 times now. So, yeah.
Cats that don't get along. Shame.
So
eventually they'll be best buddies.
Maybe. I don't know.
It'll take some time. Now, do you have separate litter boxes for them?
Well, the formula is n+1, with n being the number of cats. So, yeah, we have 2 cats. We have 3 litter boxes.
Oh, 3. Ooh.
You're always supposed to have 1 more litter box than the number of cats you have.
Really?
Yeah, that's the formula, n+1. If you got 5 cats, have 6 litter boxes.
Now, are they all next to each other, or are they all scattered all over the place?
They're scattered. We got one downstairs.
Okay.
We got one upstairs in Hestia's room. I think we put the other one in Kristen's room. We had one in the hallway for a while, but we've moved them around a few times because we wanted to try to... At some point, we put one somewhere that's more secluded to Hestia's own spot, hoping that this would give Hestia a safer place. But Shantico has stormed her in that one, too. So, yeah.
Maybe Hestia needs
I've
the
never
one
heard that
cover.
rule.
You never heard the n+1 rule?
No, because I know
I
someone
haven't
got
either.
3 cats and one litter box.
Maybe that would have to be a pretty big litter box, and that's a possibility. I had neighbors that they had 3 cats, and they had 1 giant litter box in the basement and a cat door to the basement. And it was big enough that when I watched the cats for a week, they told me, "Don't worry about scooping; they'll be fine." And then
we had 4 cats, 2 litter boxes that were next to each other, so it's like a big one.
okay.
And sometimes we would just use one, but
Generally, the rule of thumb.
there were some. Once in a while, you'd find some. Oh, this is the alternate pee spot.
Well, there you go. If you had the n+1.
Right.
But anyways, it is that
Litter
time.
box condominium.
Once again, it is time.
God, he's playing an intro.
Once again, it is time for everyone's least favorite internet radio show.
Insert title here.
The show where we are here strictly for you, Jay Booger. And
For the hell of it.
also, this is a show that changes titles so many times we had to put a placeholder in for the name. So this week, I believe we are the Jay Booger Show. because clearly
Yay.
that is what we're here for. Jay Booger has claimed us as his show, and so now I am waiting for his response, because I asked him what is it he wants. I mean, he's made it clear what he doesn't want from us. But I don't know. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to the internet and asked, what do you all want? And I usually get a few people that'll go, "Hey, we love you, Johnny. Used to listen to you back in the day." Thanks.
Now, supposedly you did a broadcast earlier this afternoon
I
just
did,
for him.
no. A broadcast when?
Oh, I thought I saw something. Yeah, about you being on YouTube doing the Jay Booger show, and it said 4 hours ago.
Oh, no, that's going on now. It's called Welcome to the Jay Booger Show. That's the stream I'm doing right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
strangeness.
I created it an hour ago because Brian was here chilling with me. Show prep. Because Jay Booger demands that.
Show prep.
Show prep. Yeah.
Yeah, like getting connected, Skype all connected, although we screwed that up.
Yeah, I noticed.
Well, no.
Help me set my microphone, my headphone level, because I have new headphones.
He spends an hour coughing and interrupting me so that he doesn't have to do it as much during the actual show.
I see.
Exactly.
Now that won't happen.
All right, but anyways, in all seriousness, Jay Booger has critiqued and criticized enough times that I'm going to publicly address this. And I've gone through numerous years of doing this show. I've had fun. Other people have had fun. Things have come and gone, and I've always done this show because I want to, because it's a hobby, because it's fun. This ain't a job. It's not that I don't want people to listen, but I don't want to focus on making people listen. I'm not focused on my numbers. I'm not playing the Damon game of citing the listener counts every 30 seconds back like we did back in the day. I
haven't done that in 7 years.
Yeah, and let's face it, live streaming is a dying breed. If I cared about popularity or viewers or numbers, I'd be coming up with a theme or a concept for a podcast, having a weekly session recording for that, and then spending a number of hours during the week editing that, and then spending time posting that. That would be a job. That would suck.
Yeah, not only that, you never know who's listening. You have some pretty powerful people listening here that we don't know about.
Yeah.
We're hoping for Bill Shatner and Bill Gates and Bill Murray, right?
Bill Murray.
Well,
there we go. The
that.
three bills.
There is an example.
Those are the bills I would like to show up. Unfortunately, I always get bills that I don't want, like the cable bill, the electric bill, the gas bill. Those are, I could do without those bills. But Bill Gates, Bill Shatner, Bill Murray, those bills are welcome anytime.
But you know what? Like I said about unusual people might be listening in, because this is more like a coincidence. But remember last week we were talking about Mr. Bucket?
And the balls in his mouth. And
stuff like that. Well, seems like started a couple days ago, I saw the new commercial. And it was severely edited.
There's a new Mr. Bucket commercial?
Where he just says, put the balls on the top of his head before he spits them out.
Okay.
And just that alone.
Well, so
took out the worst of it.
So Mr. Bucket's a spitter, not a swallower, is what we're figuring out here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as long as we've established that. But to address Jay Booger's critiques, like I said, I've always done this show for me. Not to be selfish, but this is my hobby. And I'm happy to share it with others. I welcome anyone to call in. Skype is up. people could call in and say whatever. And keep in mind, Frank called in for like 4 or 5 or 6 weeks with bullshit topics before I finally got pissed at him and banned him from calling in. So, you know, it takes a bit to get me to go, no, fuck you, you can't call in anymore. I think Frank is the only person I've ever like forbidden and banned from calling into my show. Most people that call into my show become co-hosts. Now, there's been controversy over the years over how much or how little I let co-hosts contribute. And yes, I've had some times where I've controlled to a level that I thought was appropriate and others have disagreed.
Oh, yes. The clusterfucks were so much fun and popular.
Yeah, but Brian understands because he participated in a different clusterfuck that wasn't as well controlled. He knows that, you know, yeah, sometimes you got to rein that shit in. And look, I'm not going to try to defend or apologize for anything right now. I've had a blast doing this for over 10 years now, and I'm going to keep having a blast doing this. I don't really give a shit if Jay Booger likes what I'm doing or not. If you hate it so much, why do you keep coming back?
Yeah,
and why are you listening to the end? What is your motivation? What makes you get up in the morning and decide, I'm going to put some pants on and listen to Gators? Because I hope you're listening with pants. Pants are mandatory for you, Jay Booger. You don't get to listen without pants. Only fans get to listen without pants. You put your pants on right now, okay?
That's right. I got my pants off. It's warm in here. It's warm in here.
Who's paying your heating bill?
I am.
Well, you know, you could save some money if you put some pants on and lower it a few degrees.
Well, you know what? The temperature I have it at is just about right, and I didn't really notice any change in the electric bill.
All right then. You know what? Here's the thing. I found out what's almost as good as no pants. Sweatpants. I have switched from khakis to sweatpants, and I'm loving it. But
much more comfortable.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Well, after I went through another pair of the problem with khakis is you're working on something, you squat down, and you hear that rip, and you go, oh, hold on, I need to take off my pants and give them to my wife to sew up. And Kristen sews them up. And then they rip again in a few months, and then she sews them up, and then eventually they're sewed up so tight that they just burst at some point, going, yeah, well, fuck you, you ain't sewing this up. And so that's when I decided, fuck this, I'm buying sweatpants. And I'm loving it.
Yeah, for just around the house, they're fine.
Oh, yeah,
right?
They're great. They're great. They're my around-the-house pants. You know, I've worn them out shopping too. I haven't gone to work in them. I could try that though. There's pretty much no dress code at my work. As long as you have pants on, I think they're cool. So, yeah.
Pajama bottoms.
I could try that. But I don't wear pajamas. I
With the little teddy bears on them?
I sleep in the tidy whities. Okay. Anyways, Venison, thank you for that image of you sitting in your apartment with no pants.
You're welcome.
Tell me you're at least wearing boxers.
No. Loose tidy whities.
That's the worst kind of tidy whities.
Not for me. They're comfortable.
There are things dangling at this point.
So?
Swinging in the breeze.
Yeah.
Oh.
And when you're laying on the couch, it's a lot easier.
You know what? I believe in fairness and equal opportunity. Since we now know Venison's state of pants, I have to allow it for Jay Booger. If Jay Booger wants to take off his pants,
here's the positive thing.
Okay.
This is the real reason why Venison is on Skype rather than on YouTube.
There is that to be thankful for.
Yes. Pretty
Amen,
much.
brother. Amen.
Amen. Yes.
Plus, I don't have any video equipment.
That's not
What?
that hard.
I thought that laptop had a built-in webcam.
Hell no.
Oh, wow.
None of them have.
Some, you know what? That was a that was that was a Tharco laptop actually. And most of them had webcams, but every now and then we got a model that didn't, because like that wasn't a spec that was mandatory for what we were doing for them. But that was a laptop from Tharco that needed some fixing up, and it actually came from the Dallas, Texas office, and it would not image. And I brought it home, and I got some parts that I had lying around and fixed it up. And at that point, it's got my parts in it. It was broken. It was useless. It was written off. So and that is why Venison has a Tharco laptop.
No, not by them, but oh well.
That's okay. I had a few old Dell laptops that Tharco had,
Yeah.
and I, fixed them up to make going. I mean, there were broken parts, this and that and the other thing, cracked screens.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
they were just running, looking for aliens and stuff.
It's sad. It used to be that companies would donate equipment, like to local schools, or it used to be you'd raffle stuff off to coworkers, but that stopped when the coworkers started demanding free support for stuff like that. And
Exactly.
then you send an email out with a bold all caps disclaimer: these laptops come as is, no support, do not call support for them. But they always inevitably call. Well,
Sure, they do anyway.
Could
Yeah.
you help me? I really have a question. I'd appreciate it. And
This
so that's
is
what's
why we were going to recycle it.
right. And so then it turned into, well, let's donate them to a local school or something. And I don't know if this actually happened to Boise or if this was a hypothetical that Boise's legal department posed, but apparently the problem is that the serial numbers of the laptops are registered to the company's name. And then if you donate the laptops and you don't go to all the trouble to transfer the ownership over and, call up Dell, give them those serial numbers and tell them these are being transferred to, such and such daycare's local school, put it all under their name, then you don't do that. They stay under the name of Boise Inc. And then let's say this school ends up at some point tossing a bunch of laptops in a dumpster. Which is not the proper way to dispose of electronic equipment. And then you get someone that sees, well, this equipment was disposed of improperly. Let's see if they're owned by a large corporation with lots of money that we can fine. And they call up Dell, and Dell goes, oh, yes, we'll give you the name of the company and their address. That's Boise Inc.
Thanks,
over
Dell.
in next thing you know, you got people breathing down your neck, hey, you're not disposing of your equipment properly, because these laptops with these serial numbers turned up in a landfill that they were not supposed to be in, and they're registered to your name. Therefore, that means you're responsible for them. And so that's why Boise won't give away laptops to anyone or won't let you donate them. It's no, that gets e-wasted.
So what, they go e-wasted, but how do you know if the e-waster will handle it properly?
They give you a certificate that says so.
And that's
With all
why
the
I
serial
never
numbers.
registered them.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
You're supposed to get. Well, I think Boise actually did want you to. No, when I e-wasted stuff, I basically had an inventory that listed the number of computers and things like that. I don't think it went into detail with the serial numbers, but we did. I remember at one point, Eddie Tooker came over, starting demanding that we start giving him copies of things like that, because he was getting. Somehow a pallet of stuff was moved outdoors, because I'd load up the pallets and tell them to throw them in the back somewhere. And then they would just juggle them around. And at some point, a pallet covered with a tarp that had e-waste on it was left outdoors. And some inspector saw that and said, you can't do that. and started asking questions about seeing documentation. So somehow Eddie Tooker started requiring that, he needed that paperwork because people were hounding him about e-waste. E-waste is nasty stuff. It's,
yes, it is.
People get their panties all in a wad over that. But that's not what we're here to talk about.
That's why I never register.
I don't think Jay Booger's here to listen to us talk about e-waste. So we will have to change the topic again.
Oh, I got some random for you.
So actually, to be more direct, Mr. Jay Booger, so do you approve of us talking about e-waste or not?
Yeah, let us
meanwhile,
know.
we're going to move on and
Yeah.
see your comments and decide if we should continue with that type of conversation.
Yeah, there we go, because it is all about you, Mr. Jay Booger, who may or may not be wearing pants and whose balls may or may not be dangling out of loose tighty whities. We don't know. We don't know.
And of course,
Easier to stretch.
any other listener that has a comment, we welcome them.
Yes. We also welcome you to dangle your balls out of loose tighty whities too.
And scratch them.
Yeah. Or they make spray and powder for that,
No, that doesn't feel as good.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, yeah, like I said, I got a random topic for you.
Okay.
It's a real quick one.
All right.
Availability getting in the movie theater, that's going to take a lot of logistics here. Bus. But that's the name of it. But Into the Spider-Verse, is all around the place now. And yes, and last night I saw something. Whoa, cool! It seems like Disney XD ran their own version of it. The Ultimate Spider-Man, and the oh shit, I forgot the thing, but the Web Warriors. It was basically the same thing, using the same characters. It's not the exact same plot of the movie, but the close.
Okay.
So I got to see the movie on TV at home. Yay!
That's cool. Yeah. Oh,
That's what I thought I added in there.
Yeah, that's cool. So I'm trying to think what topics we have for this week. Of course, I've got more Christmas music reviews because Jay Booger loves those. We should talk about dollar bin specials because I get a lot of complaints about dollar bin specials. I get a lot of hate about dollar bin specials.
Gee, I wonder why.
But
Wait. Hate from who? From Jay Booger or somebody else?
the internet. Back in the day, I got lots of complaints. Video Vamp never liked the dollar bin specials. But here's the thing. I would get enough complaints that every so often I would kind of think like, man, people really don't like the dollar bin specials. Maybe I should just, drop the whole dollar bin special, which was a staple of the show from the start. I mean, that really was one of the driving factors and ideas I had from the beginning of, finding weird, zany, kooky things in the dollar bin and featuring that. And it got hard to keep up with it, so I stopped doing it every week. And not everything that we featured was the most hilarious thing.
No.
But let me tell you, back when we used to have an active community, every time I would post saying, I think does anyone care about dollar bin specials anymore? I think I'm going to do away with it. I would always get a reply or two basically saying, no, you can't get rid of the dollar bin specials. We love the dollar bin specials. Every time I put it out there, I always get a few comments saying that they love it. So there's someone out there that likes them. And Jay Booger, you might want to put your pants on and go track those people down and kick their ass, because it's their fault that you get to listen to this now. So
maybe people say
me.
we want them because they want to hate on it.
That could be. Some people love to hate. You know what? Maybe, what was the reason Howard Stern's numbers were so great? Because people who liked him wanted to hear what he was going to say next. And people who hated him wanted to hear what he was going to say next. So maybe Maybe Jay Booger loves to hate us. Maybe we should do a show. Maybe we should strive to piss off Jay Booger more than we did the previous week every week. You know, what could we do to make this show even worse than last week's?
And, you know, Jay Booger could really help because we throw a segment on there that he really hates. He needs to tell us that he really hates that. Right?
Nah, I think it's just he likes to bully people, and you're his target.
I don't care. You know what? He's sitting out there with no pants on, balls dangling out of loose tighty-whities that he's scratching. So he can sit there and what if he's going to go do something else, he's going to have to put pants on. So really, that's what it comes down to. Bad entertainment or putting on pants, which are both unappealing options. So I did some record shopping this weekend.
You did?
Yes. Gothard came down for a visit this weekend. And we went to Boston.
I saw him on that Twitch there.
Yes.
Did you see my, it was actually on YouTube, right?
Yeah. I saw your comment, and yeah, that was Gothard.
I couldn't watch that much because I was checking it on my iPhone, and the iPhone would just stop and go and couldn't understand what's going on, but I saw his face and says, I think that's Gothard.
And so I found this record.
I didn't even see an announcement.
Well, that's announced on the Marriage Counseling Twitter account, and usually I retweet it. Sometimes I forget to. But
did you say that Gothard was going to be on it?
Yeah, I said we were playing 3-player. I don't
know if I saw the 3-part. I guess I just kind of went on the Gothard.
Yeah, but when we did the show, we introduced him.
Wait a minute, 3-player?
Yeah,
I came on in the middle while you were alive.
Yes, we had a 3-way on the Nintendo 64 with some Mario Party.
You were thinking the other kind of threesome, huh?
and let's be clear, both Gothard and Kristen played as female characters, so it was 2 females on 1 guy in the Mario Party game.
Way to go!
It's the right kind of threesome.
Well,
no cup
that's
involved.
Kind of
no cups.
You know, even though one seems like one person had a gender change. So you got one female, one guy, and one transgender.
What happened on the couch was just 3 people playing video games. What happened in the video game was the threesome of the board game and stuff. I don't know what you're trying to turn this into.
Oh my God!
You're just trying to stall.
Video game.
You're just trying to stall from the inevitable disco music that's coming here, because we know how much Brian loves the disco.
I love disco.
You love disco.
Yes. I heard this fantastic bump and grind music on hold with this Ford dealer. Okay.
Do we have their number?
No, I don't.
Oh, we got to call someone when they got home.
The downside, though, is that it's interrupted so often with the pitchman guy talking about the new Ford that's on the showroom.
Oh, that's
and this
annoying.
And that and the other thing. So you only get the little hint of the bump and grind between his yammering on. What are you, Crazy Eddie or...
Crazy Eddie be entertaining.
Or Cal Worthington or some other character like that.
We don't know who that is. Well, Venison
he's dead
might.
Now.
Yeah.
I have
Cal
no
Worthington,
idea.
I think, was based in...
Cal Worthington.
Was based in Denver, and then he also had some showrooms in California, in the Bay Area. I think.
I wouldn't know that. Nope, sorry.
We're East Coasters. We have no idea.
I would if I cared.
Search YouTube for Cal Worthington to see if anything comes up.
Is this worth searching for, Brian?
Oh, absolutely. It's Worthington.
Worthington.
Worth.
Cal with a K or a C?
C.
Worthington. All right. Well, he's.
I wonder what would happen if you called a few businesses or whatever that had old music and say, "No, I just don't want to talk to you. I just want to hear the old music."
You know, there's a brand new way to own a new Ford car or truck. It's called the lease purchase plan. This is the best way to buy a new Ford car or truck, the lease purchase. It's simple. You lease for no money down, low payments. At the end of the lease, you pay a small residual balance. You own it. Look here, a brand new 85 Thunderbird, the best buy in town. A brand new 85 T-Bird, $89.95, or lease it. No money down, $164 a month. A brand new Mustang, $69.95, or lease it. No money down, $135 a month. A brand new 85 Ford and F-150 pickup, $71.95, or lease it. No money down, $139 a month.
Okay, so this is Cal
for
giving prices to cars.
Down $162 a month left.
Those are great bargains. Let's run down and get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Worthington Ford Federal Way, the only way. Worthington Ford Federal Way, open to midnight every day.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that.
Oh, even I could afford that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's sad. It's sad when you watch recordings of old car commercials. It's like, damn, I could afford that.
Yeah, remember when the Hyundai was only like $5,500?
Yeah. Well,
what's it now?
So, anyways,
actually, I don't know. What do they go for nowadays? The
about 25 grand.
I'm not surprised.
So I did a little shopping and I found some disco records at this record store, and this is on Areola Records, which I guess was a disco label, and it was only $4, and it just said on it was the theme from Mork and Mindy disco version, and I knew at that point I had to have it.
Oh boy!
So yeah. Because, Brian, tell me you wouldn't buy that record. You see a record, the $4 price tag that says theme from Mork and Mindy disco version. Yeah, you have to buy it.
And I have to listen to it right now.
Yeah, you do have to. And not only that, Venison has to listen to it without pants.
Without pants.
Which apparently, you know, back in Studio 54, pants were also optional. So I don't know. I haven't watched an episode of Mork and Mindy in a long time, so I don't quite remember how the theme goes. But I'm guessing this is building up to something that resembles it. We're doing this is a 12-inch remix, so you know we got grooves to fill here. So we got to add them one part at a time. So we're coming around. Nanu, nanu. There we go. Okay, yeah. That's the Mork and Mindy theme. Cake. Cake did this. I think there was a different band.
I knew it.
You knew this was Cake?
I'm totally lying. That's so you can have your cake and eat it too, right?
You know, but Cake was a band in the 90s, so I think this was a different Cake.
This doesn't sound like Mork and Mindy.
I like that.
Yeah. No, this is the melody of Mork and Mindy.
What does the Mork and Mindy theme sound like?
Bum, bum, bum. Boom, bum, bum, bum. That's totally the melody in there now.
I think the synth is cool.
Yeah. And the synth's playing the Mork and Mindy theme. So it's not bad for a disco record. That was worth $4, don't you think?
Absolutely. Was there more stuff on the album?
Well, it was a 12-inch single, so it's just a whole lot
12?
more.
It goes on for 12 hours?
It goes on for 6 minutes.
6 minutes. Cool.
Yeah. Then the other side's got a 3-minute version. So, yeah, there was that. Now, we can spread out the disco a little bit. We don't have to do all the disco in a row. And so, you know, what's good to cleanse the palate after some disco? But a little ragtime. You like a little ragtime? We opened the show.
I love ragtime.
Yeah, and we opened the show with a little ragtime. So here's a little more ragtime for the middle of the show. And this is a record called Plugged In Joplin. That was worth it. That was a... Oh, I paid $6 for this one.
Ooh.
I think it's still worth it. I'll pay a little more for a synth album.
You had to dig deep into that pocket, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. No, this was totally worth $6.
Kind of takes away the whole flavor of ragtime, though.
Well, it's okay. I've got records with it played on piano. This is different.
Oh, totally different. I'll have you that.
Anyways, yeah, so that's a record that I've known existed for a while, but I just haven't come across a copy of it for under $10 yet until now. So now I can add that to the synth collection. And then, of course, I couldn't resist this. Found this in the record section of the antique store. This is the Cream songbook performed by the Rubber Band. And yeah, it's
so
actually
this is all Cream cover tunes.
Yes, it's all Cream cover tunes. So it's all Cream, as performed by.
Speakers went out again.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, that sucks. So it opens with "Deserted Cities of the Heart," which is a great album off of Wheels of Fire. So it's kind of an orchestrated version of Cream songs.
Did we lose Venison?
Yeah, we did. His speaker's cut out, so he's got to call back or reboot or something. Now, the only issue I had with this record, though, is there's not much point of a recording of Toad that doesn't feature Ginger Baker on the drums. I mean, yeah, it's a drum solo, and it's not bad, but what's the point of listening to this drum solo if it's not played by Ginger Baker?
Not a bad rendition, though.
Not a bad
Kinda cool.
rendition.
Yeah.
I'd rather listen to Ginger Baker playing it.
Sure. No doubt about it.
But then again, it's nice to hear, orchestrated versions of Cream classics. What's that?
Anybody want to get off? Feel free. We have more people coming on.
Floor
Yes.
3.
Next will be the 4th floor.
Floor 4, White Room.
Aha! Saved by the Bell. Venison is joining the elevator.
I can't find the pickup button though.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go.
Good. That'd be
He's back. So we're enjoying this Cream. Yes.
Yeah, this is.
And we're taking the elevator up, and thank you for getting on board.
It's the elevator rendition of White Room.
Right. And of course, this elevator was manufactured by Schindler's Lift.
Oh.
My favorite elevator company.
Yes.
It's really. And actually, where the hell was I? I saw a Schindler's Lift lately here, but they didn't have the lift name because this is not the OK.
No. All right. Moving right along.
What other songs are on that album? Because so far we've kind of hit the horizontal lift.
Well, of course I do have "Sunshine of Your Love" on the.
One of my favorite songs. That's got to be good.
Wait, a horizontal lift? It's not physically possible.
Of course.
It's possible. It's just pointless. Ooh, we got the flutes coming in now.
Flutes. And Ian Anderson on the flute.
That's not Ian.
No.
Is this elevator music still?
I suppose it could
This
be.
is the Cream. The Cream.
Yeah,
song.
this is the Cream songbook.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I paid $7 for this one.
Ooh.
You would.
Yeah, it keeps you off
Did
the
it come
streets.
in a plastic come in encased in plastic? It did. So
Yes.
it's vomit proof.
Yes. As long as
That
you
should
put
have been
it
your
away.
hint.
All right. I think we get the idea of the Cream songbook.
Yeah, before Jay Booger starts yelling at us again.
Oh, he's already yelling. He's. I think he's.
okay.
At this point, he has gone on to writing as senators. Now, please, Jay, when you address the letter to your representative and senators, be sure to mention P.S. I'm not wearing pants at the end of the letter. Your representatives need to know this.
You got this thing for people not wearing pants.
It's a running joke of the show.
I see.
Yes. Either that, it's an obsession, one or the other. But what's the difference?
Yeah, I was
right?
about to say that.
So moving back to so this was in the dollar bin. I had no idea what it was, but it was only $1. And it was a Disco 12-inch single.
TK Disco.
Yeah, TK Disco. Now
It's a real catchy name.
well, TK Records was the label that Casey and the Sunshine Band put on the map.
Yeah.
So,
there you go.
you
See,
know.
it's got some oomph behind it.
TK was a major player in the game of disco, and then in the 80s they went bankrupt because disco died. So yeah, a 12-inch TK disco single that's only $1, even though I've never heard of Amount. It was only $1. So, you know, why not try a random disco 12-inch when it's only $1? I think this is about $1 worth of disco right here. What
Right
do you-
here.
Yeah. It's
Already
got the
paid
beat.
for.
Yeah. We got the beat. We got the cymbal. We got the... Yeah. We have all the elements of disco opening up right here in front of us. I mean, it's generic $1 disco. You need some filler to play between the good songs.
Flashing.
What's that?
I said it's flashing.
It's flashing.
Yeah, he said opening up right in front of us.
I got you. I see what you're doing there.
That was a subtle one there. Subtle.
Yeah.
Whoa.
We got some synth lines going here. Some guitar.
And piano.
Yeah. That's good. This is not a bad disco song for a cheap disco song. Good beat. Yeah. You really can't go wrong with a TK Disco 12-inch single for $1. You know, I got to give it that.
And I think we moved from the elevator to the restroom.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, okay.
Vocals.
And it won't flush.
I could take a shit to this.
I could take a shit on this.
And remember, do not run and jump on someone while they're taking a shit.
That's right.
It's one thing we could all agree on, even Jay Booger. Also, make sure you're not wearing pants while taking a shit.
That's a useful tip.
That's a very useful tip. You want to get those steps in the right order, take the pants off, then take the shit. Preferably after sitting on the toilet. Yeah, you want to get those steps take the pants off, sit on the toilet, take the shit.
It's a very simple step-by-step procedure, and if you're not good with step-by-step,
Yeah.
you need to work something else out.
And then you need to wipe before you put your pants back on, which is something you need to specify if you're playing Leisure Suit Larry 6. Because if you're playing Leisure Suit Larry 6 and you take a shit and then you tell him to stand up, he pulls his pants up right as he stands up. Because you're supposed to tell him to wipe before you tell him to stand up.
Oh, please stop.
And then when you go down to the lobby, The receptionist starts wondering what that smell is.
You reminded me of something that was playing Friday night.
Friday night. What, did you
Yeah,
shit your pants
yeah.
or something?
Somebody found it. You're talking about wiping and all like this. So yeah, we were kind of goofing on the whole Daniel Tiger thing again, and somebody found on YouTube, a Daniel Tiger potty app.
Oh,
Where
that's
you-
great.
Oh God, that was disgusting.
Well, the kids need to learn somehow. If we don't teach our kids how to potty properly, they're going to be running and jumping on each other while shitting in their pants. All the things that we said not to do. This is why
Yeah.
kids need to listen to our show. See,
Yeah, but there were things in it they said in there, and this is in the app, is saying, "Can you get the toilet paper for me?"
well, yeah, that is,
But
A step in the right direction.
yeah. Now, if you can set
yeah,
the app,
but these are things he's supposed to do himself.
well, yeah, generally it's a good idea to check for the toilet paper before you start lift off. But
Yeah,
sometimes,
of course.
sometimes
But
you
don't be in
forget.
a room with him.
Sometimes you forget, and then next thing you know, you're there minding your own business, tidying up the house or raiding the pantry, and your sister starts screaming, "I need toilet paper!" And it's like, oh, you know what? Fuck you, fuck you. I don't have time for this shit. And the screaming,
Literally.
and the screaming just gets louder. You think the problem would sort itself out? Actually, that problem did sort itself out. Someone left a newspaper behind the toilet, and that's what.
And then he goes, "Could you flush your toilet for me?" It's like, And the worst thing was somebody added their own talk to it, and it made it much worse.
Well,
So, Jay Booger, you can also rate this segment of the show.
Yes.
What do you think?
What do you think? Should we talk about more about potty training? Should potty training be a regularly weekly topic?
Thumbs up or thumbs
no.
down?
I mean, let's face it. When's the last time any of us have had a lesson on potty training? It's like they say every now and then you should take a refresher course on driving. That's why we're such bad drivers. Maybe we're all shitting wrong too. Maybe we should have a refresher course for, adults every now and then to kind of go over the basics of shitting.
Well, maybe. They said, if you had to go to the potty, drop what you're doing and go.
Yeah.
And sometimes, sometimes you're out there and you decide you're going to hold it in until you get back, and you're doing the whole prairie dogging thing. And sometimes a little piece of it might get past there and just hang there. It doesn't get into your pants, but it just hangs there and smears.
Called the dingleberry.
The
right?
dingleberry.
Or what I like to call the Klingon.
So I guess, you could refresh your training.
Go potty, go potty, go. Oh, why don't you sit and try to go? In the
Oh,
morning
no.
time before you go to school, put down your stuff and follow this rule. Go potty, go potty, go.
Also, another rule, wear a long shirt. Especially if you're going to be pottying on TV.
Go potty, go potty, go. Go potty, go potty, go potty.
Oh, they
go.
didn't care about that part.
Why don't you sit and try to go? When the day is done, before you get into bed, remember this rule.
And this is all to see if Google will flag this song too.
Yes, yes.
Go potty, go.
We do need to
Go
see if
potty,
we get
go
flagged for
potty,
this.
go potty,
But it's
go.
educational.
Why don't you sit and try to go? Oh, why don't you sit and try to go?
It's a choir of shitters.
Watch Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood weekdays on your PBS Kids station.
There you go. You should all go watch that.
All right.
The video app.
So, one of the manager's job is to make sure that the new employee kind of knows all the ropes of, what goes on in the company, to make sure people aren't breaking rules accidentally.
Right.
And I was talking to one guy who was a manager, and the new employees were immigrants from probably India or Southeast Asia or something like that. Cambodia possibly, and he had to show them how to use the crapper.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is something that is not necessarily universal around the world, and as far as toilet design.
Right.
Actually,
so this is kind of like, here's what we have here. No, you're not supposed to stand on the seat and squat. You're supposed to sit on the seat.
Yeah. I mean,
let her rip.
This is let me just bring it up here. I think this is a fairly standard image that can be seen in public restrooms from time to time. Don't stand on the seat and squat. Sit down on the seat.
Yes.
But when all you've ever known is a design of toilet that involves squatting, you kind of get in there and look at this thing that is up high on the ground, and you're like, how am I going to stand on that? Because the thought of sitting on that doesn't even occur to you.
And no handstands.
That
is a very good idea.
I mean, that defies gravity if you're going to try to shit while doing a hand stand. And then, where's it going to fall? No.
Yeah, I saw.
And when you meet an astronaut, you kind of go, hey, how do you do that in space?
Well, they have space toilets.
Right, and how do they work?
I think
they suck the shit right out of you.
Well, actually, how do they work? They don't. They don't work. Actually, early days, that was an issue. I think there's a transcript. A NASA shit transcript. Let me Google that term and see if that brings it up. Yes, Apollo 10, not Apollo 11. They got that shit nailed down for the people that were actually going to get to walk on the moon. But the poor saps that didn't get to land on the moon just got to do a little circle for a dress rehearsal. There was a okay. I think I think the audio actually exists. Let's see if I can find the audio.
Well, there's no gravity in space, so I guess you could nail it to the wall.
All right. Apollo 10 poop audio. There we go. The floating turd mystery that still haunts NASA. Let's see if the somewhere the audio's there. Turds in space. Here we go. This should have it. Unidentified flying turds. During the Apollo 10 space mission, the astronauts ran into some complications. A turd floating around the spacecraft caused some commotion.
You think?
Commotion. Yes.
Commotion.
The spacecrafts back then weren't equipped with any advanced waste disposal technology. The system consisted of depositing their feces in a plastic bag, which was taped to their buttocks, making an incident like this all the more likely.
It ain't one of mine. I don't think it's one of mine. Mine was a little more... God almighty.
Well, that used some of the audio.
And they're denying it.
Yeah. Let's see. I think
it kind of goes beyond who you smelt it, dealt it.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't smelling. It was just a turd kind of floated in front of them at some point while they're.
There would be another version of it.
Yeah.
Now, who grabbed
Here
it?
we go.
Saw it, supplied it, or
Who
something?
did it? Did what? Who did it? Give me a napkin quick. There's a turd floating loose. I didn't do it. It ain't one of mine. I don't think it's one of mine. Mine was a little more sticky than that. God almighty.
Stickier?
Here's another goddamn turd. What's the matter with you guys? Here, give me a... Was it just floating around? Yeah.
So, yeah, that is actual audio from space. You haven't heard that before, Brian?
No. I bet you the
I.
aliens that have been watching us are kind of looking at that and says, we will have no problem taking those people over. But let's not do it yet. We got to have some amusement here.
Down on Earth, they haven't even figured out shitting. Which, oddly enough, if the aliens are going to attack, running and jumping on us while we're taking a shit is probably a prime way to attack us.
Right.
So, there's that.
Yeah.
Well, it's like every time there's an unexpected fire drill, there's always at least one person that emerges a little delayed with a towel wrapped around him or her.
Oh, wait, let's see.
So, it's bound to happen. At some point, someone's going to be that person that an emergency happens right where in the middle of taking care of business. And what do you do? What do you do? Do you pull up your pants and run and deal with the mess later, or do you risk it and finish up? I mean, do you like kind of feel the door like nah, flames haven't gotten here yet. I got a few more minutes. I'll just jump out the window when I'm done. Once again, Jay Booger.
You're on one of the lower floors.
Ideally. Or there's a fire escape. So, I thought it might be interesting to bring up, I listened to a podcast this morning, and Brian tried to listen to the same podcast but got bored 4 minutes in. Now, here's my tip. Here's how I listen to a podcast. I look at the thermometer outside, and I see it's 20 degrees. So I put on my hat, I put in my earbuds, I start a podcast, I put the phone in my jacket pocket, zip up, put on the hat, put on the gloves, and I start walking. So when I'm outside in 20-degree weather, all bundled up, if I decide the podcast is a little boring 4 minutes in, I ain't taking my gloves off and unzipping my jacket for no one. I'm gonna just keep right on listening to that podcast. So that might be that might help if you imagine it's cold and you have to unzip your jacket to get to the player to skip.
That's a good strategy.
There you go. Doesn't get cold enough in California for you to. But,
well, that's that one flaw of your plan. Yes.
No, but I didn't have a problem with it. Reply All is a podcast I recommend, and I think Jay Booger will even write in and point out to anyone who's reading the comments that Reply All does a better job and is much more professional than us. But then again, I think those people are getting paid, so there is that. And the latest episode of Reply All is about a peaceful little town in Wisconsin called Mount Pleasant and all the hell that's broken loose there. And this is a story that I don't know how much it's being covered or how well it's being covered because I don't pay that close attention to news. But it's about the Foxconn factory that's going to be opening up. Yeah. This is the company that is known for having the factory in China that has the suicide nets around it because all the employees kept trying to jump off the building and kill themselves. And so they're like, we got this covered. We'll put up a net.
The Foxconn factory.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. I don't know. I feel like this podcast did a good job at covering both sides without bias. Now, people might disagree with me. Now, I listened to it, and I definitely formed my opinion. So any coverage on here is going to be biased. Do your research, read up on this, listen to the podcast if you want to. They let people from both sides speak very freely about this, And it barely even touched on that one side is more conservative and one side is liberal. Certainly it's in there, but it really didn't focus on a liberal versus conservative line. And I think that is a good way to cover it, that this doesn't have to be a liberal conservative thing, even though it kind of is in a certain sense. But basically, the people in this town, it's a small little town. They had their town meetings, and there's this activist type of lady in the town that shows up at every town meeting, and generally the town board finds her annoying because but you know what? She forces transparency. Like, she checks up on them, and she'll show up at the meetings and kind of like call them out on shit. And I think one thing that was kind of conveyed or came out of that was that she kind of kept them honest. She kept them in check, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But then some rumors started breaking out in the town that something big was coming, something bigger than they could imagine. And the town, they go to the next town meeting, and the town board doesn't say anything about it. And they keep kind of avoiding the topic, not answering questions, and being real cagey about it. And then Trump made the announcement that Foxconn was going to build a factory in the United States. And that's when the people in the town are like, that's got to be the big thing. That's what it is that they're not telling us about. And they kept asking, is this what's going on? Is Foxconn going to come in here? And I mean, people are coming in, taking, soil samples. Drones are kind of flying in, scoping out area. People are like, they want to know from their, elected officials that are supposed to be working for them, what's going on. Are some of us going to lose our land? Are our taxes going to go up? What is going on here? And basically what happened is that, the way things operate, which is bullshit. And we saw a lot of this, I think, with the Amazon factory. It was a big news story. The Amazon factory was kind of bidding out to different cities. And basically, they want all the different cities to kind of give them the best deal. Who's going to give them the best tax break? Who's going to give them the best incentives so they could kind of come in and take advantage and not pay their fair share? And they basically pit cities against one another to try to get a good deal. And that's exactly the game that Foxconn was playing. And they made all the towns that were bidding sign non-disclosure. So the town board wasn't even allowed to tell the people who they're working for, who are going to be impacted about this, what the hell's going on. And it got to the point where the agreement they made with Foxconn, the town didn't even get to see it until after it was agreed upon. Totally opaque, no transparency. And, I think it's... The thing that also sticks out to me is that it was said that most people were kind of in favor of Foxconn coming in because there's the hope that they're going to bring jobs in, and this is going to, help their economy and going to bring a lot of good things to their area. But, they were kept in the dark about it, and it was done really badly. And then at the end of it, basically part of the deal was that the town had to go into debt $800 million to accommodate their end of the deal for the Foxconn factory to come in, which means that the town is putting themselves into debt that they got to pay back with the hopes that it'll pay off in the long run. And this is a factory that's coming in to build LCD screens, which OLED screens is kind of the screen of the future. There's no guarantee that this factory is going to last long enough, or that the jobs are going to go to the local people. I'm doing a half-assed job of summing up this podcast and also giving my biased slant on it. I recommend checking out the latest episode of Reply All and doing your own research on it. But what a topic! And it's a topic I think that could and should be debated without getting into an us versus them or a liberal versus conservative debate, because it's the type of thing that there's some common things there. Jobs are good, business is good, but transparency should be there. And
Well, I think there should be an open discussion.
yeah, but it seems to be a lot of a thing that I don't like from the conservative side is that they're all about just giving in to everything that a business asks for. Give them the tax break to get them in here because they're going to bring the money in and it'll all take care of itself. Does it really? Does it really? I think that there's some, I think that they're losing sight of something there.
Well, how many towns just opened up their doors to Walmart to show up?
Yeah,
especially the small rural areas, the Walmart shows up and the small businesses are gone.
Right, and I've seen that happen. Actually, I didn't necessarily see it happen, but when I moved up to Maine, I spent a summer working a summer job at a Walmart up there, which, hey, they gave me some work, gave me a little bit of income while I looked for a real job. It wasn't anything I could have lived off of, but it stepped me up to the next thing. There were people that, lived off of working at Walmart.
How?
Well, Maine's cost of living is pretty low. So there is that.
But in other areas it's not. So how do these people make it?
Yeah, that's a thing. But the flip side of it is that if the bad thing is when a Walmart comes in and drives the mom and pop shops out of business. And so I worked at the Walmart that was in Rockland, Maine, and at some point they wanted to expand the Walmart, and they want to open up a bigger Walmart because they wanted to go to a super center, and the city of Rockland was not being accommodating to them, because I remember in the store meetings, the store manager was talking about how it looks like the store is going to leave Rockland and go to Belfast. And he was talking about, the city of Rockland is, kind of screwing us. We wanted to build on this land. They didn't want to give it to us. They're treating us badly. So we're going to go to Belfast, which really sucks for them because, we bring the jobs into the town. We bring the money into the town. They get so much out of us, tax money. We pay the town taxes. And now we're going to go to Belfast, and they're going to lose all that. And then you kind of, talk to other people. And the flip side of it is like, they weren't paying taxes. They got a deal to, they got a huge tax break to bring the Walmart into the town. They've been destroying this town. Good riddance. So, there's two sides there. And, where's the truth? Because those are both very biased slants.
Yeah, how many jobs did it really provide? And were they good jobs, long-lasting jobs?
Well, I mean, when I worked there were people there that were regular floor associates for a number of years. I know there were married couples that they both worked there, and they provided
had to,
and they provided for their family. Working at Walmart. Now, small family, probably trailer type of situation. But yeah, you could get by on Walmart wages, but I think maybe one of them was a department manager. I mean, that's the thing. Walmart will give you a career path if you get serious about it. The thing is that you talk to anyone that works their way into the management level at Walmart, and they basically demand so many hours out of you that you're making less per hour than the floor associates are. Now, you're making more money because you're getting paid a higher salary, but then they really make you come in,
stick it to you.
Yeah, they stick it to you with the hours because you still got to cover the shit hours. That's the thing, is that a store manager, store management, you still need to have managers at stores at closing shifts and opening shifts up at the crack of dawn or until late at night. It's not just like, hey, I'm an assistant manager and now I'm going to work 9 to 5. No, that's not. When you get to store manager level, you could probably unload that all on your assistant managers. But yeah, Walmart will give you a career path if you want to get serious about it. It sucks, but you could make more money doing things like that.
Yeah.
It just, it's kind of bullshit that, like Walmarts or Amazons or factories will basically pressure towns into competing to bring the jobs into there, and basically like you're going to pay us this, or you're going to give us this deal, you're going to waive these regulations, and it's like why do you even bother doing this if everyone's just going to bend over and take it? I don't know. Something's gone wrong. Something has gone wrong in the world that we've gotten to this point. And I don't know what the answer is, because at the end of the day is this town could have just somehow said no, or the town the town board could have said no or better represented things, and then another town would have gotten it. And then maybe the town members would be like, you fucked it up. We had a great opportunity here and you botched it. What are you doing? But now they're taking a huge risk here, and it could drive them into debt and leave them, worse off than they were before.
And then when they run out of money, Walmart will pack up and move anyway.
Well, in this case, it's a Foxconn factory. But yeah, that's the thing. They can pack up and move on. Basically, they promised. Foxconn said that it was a $10 billion proposal that they're bringing in to build this huge factory, and that's like holy shit, $10 billion. But if you look at their standard method of operation, when you see how they've operated in different countries, they throw out a number to get attention, see who bites, and when they get a bite, they work out a deal. And then they start kind of changing the number. They don't always deliver what they promised. Right. They kind of work a deal that's going to work in their favor. So that the numbers they're given are mean nothing really, based from what I can figure. I don't know. I feel like this is the way that the right wants things operate, and they're like, just give it all to the business, just give it all away, just give it all away to the business, and they'll bring in the jobs, and you'll all be good. And that doesn't pass the sniff test for me. They
should be watching out for the local government, because you don't want the local government to make a big mistake like this.
Right. And here the local government operated in secrecy, made a deal without input from the town, and didn't let the town see what the deal was until afterwards. And now they did say that they were going to protect the town, the taxpayers of the town, which basically means that like the state would come in and bail them out if they ended up on the hook. But that still goes to taxpayers at the end of the day.
But this is how business works in the U.S. I was working for this company that was buying a small division of a large corporation because they were sharing some property. So, hey, let's work this problem out. And the small company was just going to buy that piece out. Okay? And the big company basically said, oh, okay, so in this envelope, should be with the frown. In this envelope is the contract to buy out this company. You're going to sign on this envelope without seeing the contents of it. And that's our deal. Take it or leave it.
So you have to sign it to find out what's in it.
That's correct. And then they kind of boxed us, well, we're not going to sign something that we don't know the contents of it. And so the whole thing fell through, and the lawyer working for the small company got fired for that. Like it was his fault.
It was his fault for not blindly signing something. Well,
right. No, what could he do? Right.
You know what? And the reality is, any lawyer that would recommend signing something without reading it, that's the lawyer you fire.
Exactly.
So stupidity.
So we got the big frown.
Well, I guess he was supposed to work out a deal that would work out in the end. He was caught between a rock and a hard place.
I think he was probably fired because he couldn't get that deal.
Right. He was fired because he was put between a rock and a hard place. Right. And either way, he was damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Exactly. Very bizarre.
Yeah.
So he took it upon himself, sacrificed himself to save the town.
Well, in this case, the company, but
And he sent me a link.
Daycare. I met the boss who runs the whole show. Name of Brown.
Oh, this is
Oh,
a
wait,
daycare?
this
Okay,
thing.
all right, I'm going to pause this. So what is this you're sending me?
This was, it took a while to find this because I lost it, but I found it. This was going back to the whole
my brother
training
calls it
time.
wood chips.
What's that?
Desperation.
You know you can get high. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. My mouse has been acting funny lately. I think I need to change my batteries.
Yeah.
It won't let me hold down the button as long as it used to. All right.
You
so
might enjoy this.
this is a thing you found that was lost. You found. Anything else you need to say to lead us up? Anything relating to pants? Maybe.
No, this is going back to the whole potty training thing, and there was an interesting thing about this place in a daycare center.
Okay, so some more potty training refreshers here.
You're gonna love this.
Okay, all right. Let's.
I went to go visit Brown's daycare and I met the boss who runs the whole show. Name of Brown. So, what time of day is this for the boys?
This is snack time.
Oh. Then Brown took me upstairs to the very top of the house where they actually keep these lucky kids. Oh, here they come.
Yeah, here.
Can I feed the boys?
Sure.
Can I give them a sack? Here, boys. Go get it.
Enough candy. Come on, go. Shh, 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 shh. Shush, shush, shush.
Why do all the boys have cotton in their ears?
I do a lot of screaming. It dulls down my voice in the screaming.
Why do you scream so much, Brown?
I go a lot with my brain. I just explode with, and I'm sorry about that.
Well, we got candy, we got clowns.
And kids.
And kids. What more could you want? I like this place. Then Brown said it was time to change the dirty cotton with good, clean cotton. Nothing's too good for these boys at Brown's daycare.
Just replace the cotton. They're having the time of their life. Give them some candy.
Can I have a piece of candy? I like butterscotch. Danny, I got a piece of candy. Hey, boy, that dang boy stole that candy right out of my hand. Give him the poison spray, Brown. That poison smells bad. That boy stole my candy, Brown.
Take that poison, boy. Shush. Shush.
Brown runs a tight ship.
Shush.
We'll be right back with more Brown's daycare right after this.
Oh,
next segment.
it's not over. What the?
Told you we'd be back with more
This
Brown's
is-
daycare. Here it
this
is.
is-
Oh, it
Well, how
gets
many
bad.
boys did you have in this daycare?
It's a few.
What the heck? Dang, I'm seeing double. Is that you in there, Brown?
It's brown too.
Oh.
When the poison isn't enough, I put them in a room with brown too.
I'm glad to be stuck here with you, Brown 1. I'll never be a bad boy that has to go see Brown 2 in the private room. Brown, tell me this. Who changes these boys' diapers if their mommy's not around?
We change each other's diapers.
Oh.
I could teach you how to do it.
No.
Okay, Dr. Brown, what's the first thing it has to do?
No.
To take out the side straps
No.
I never thought I'd be so lucky enough to change a grown man's diaper. Well, here we go. Here's
No.
mud and dry. Whoa. I can smell something cooking in this kitchen.
No.
Whoa.
No.
first. That's right. Inspect the mess.
It's a big brown wet soup in there.
So lift my legs and remove the diaper.
Okay.
Just throw it on the floor there.
Whoa, it's a real
Oh.
dirty one.
No.
Toss it on the floor.
Just on the floor.
So how long has Skylark been running a daycare?
My bottom.
Oh.
Nope, I can't watch.
Now I'm
I
clean,
can't
and
watch.
That wipe has no more brown.
Oh.
Not yet. You got a nice clean one here with no brown.
Well, you
I'll
lost
lift my
one.
bottoms up for you to put on the diaper.
Side up your butt.
Oh.
Brown!
I
Oh.
had you right in my crosshairs.
Guess there's nothing else I can say except you got me. Oldest trick in the diaper book. Good shooting.
Why am I not surprised?
Say, Jay Booger, what did you think about that one?
Well, they
couldn't
taught
watch
you
it.
how to change a diaper.
Yeah, that was that was Brown's daycare. Yeah. See, this is why I don't click on links from Skylark anymore. This is why I'm not going to click on links from Venison anymore.
It was educational.
Yeah. Educational. That's not a skill set I need.
Well, you never know. One day.
No.
You might have to babysit.
No. I don't babysit. Besides, Brian and I have it all figured out how to take care of kids. You just got to keep them in their cage.
That's right.
And this is why we never get called on to babysit.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. We can't use that joke anymore. Thanks, Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It used to be funny.
And then people actually started doing it, which is not funny.
They already did it.
Anyways. Meanwhile, so yes, we'll be waiting for... at this point, I think we're on a 20-page rant from Jay Booger on everything he hates about this week's show. And I think the cherry on the shit sundae is the diaper changing segment. Thank you, Venison.
You're welcome.
All right.
That'd be a service.
No, but if other people want to call in and be live through the Skype, or, if you want to suggest topics to bring to the show in all seriousness, I mean, this show, the more interaction, the better it works. I mean, me, Brian, Venison, we'll sit here and bore Jay Booger till the cows come home if we need to, but we're open to suggestions and ideas.
Absolutely.
But since we don't have any, you know what that means? More disco is what that means. That's exactly. I tried.
Damn you people!
Well, I didn't break into any of the Christmas records, and so I always like to feature a few Christmas favorites to recommend, so that you can go decide whether. And this is a Christmas record that you could probably find for $1 still, fairly easily. I think this copy I got for free somewhere, or 50 cents. Actually,
a box of Fruit Loops?
No. But this is a classic disco Christmas album, the South Soul Orchestra Christmas Jollies. Heck, growing up, my mom bought a cassette of this, probably from a Kmart, and we used to play this one a lot. And so I found a cheap record of it when I was buying Christmas records some years ago. But, that's good. It's disco, it's Christmas, it's fun.
I'd rather hear Rudolph the Redneck Reindeer.
No. But the reason I broke this one out this week is, this is a classic Christmas album that's been around for forever. I've seen many copies of it. Somewhere I have an 8-track of it, I think, although that might have got unloaded through one of the moves. I'm actually a bit disappointed I couldn't find an 8-track. This came out in 76. And it's, I don't know, have you ever heard this, Brian?
No.
You've missed this one all these years.
Maybe because when that came out, it was $12 and it didn't look interesting enough.
This doesn't look interesting?
It should have.
Yeah.
Either it flew off the shelf, so only the people that got it.
Yeah, right.
Incidentally, a side question.
Yes?
There's this war on the classic Rudolph the Red-Nosed radio cartoon film, and this and that and the other thing, various traditional Christmas songs.
Well, I know that there was a "It's Cold Outside" was
and that's one of them.
Right.
It's also stupid.
So what's the origin of those? Of all this hate against them.
Well,
do you know?
I know that "Baby It's Cold Outside" has had a controversy for a number of years, with people pointing out it sounds like a date rape song, and it probably is a product of its time, and maybe someone might have a point there. But I don't think that's the spirit of the song, and I don't think anyone is pointing to that song as justifications for date rape.
So here's where I'm going with this. You see a lot of stuff from conservative people and not so conservative people saying, wait a second, I'm not part of this PC BS. I'm going to play that song because I like it, or play that video because I like it. I guess the Rudolph the Red-Nosed is about bullying or something like that.
Which it's actually anti-bullying if you pay attention to the message of the movie.
On how you look at it.
So I don't understand.
You gotta look at the whole
maybe
thing.
It's not the liberals that are saying this. That this is the conservatives throwing it out there, getting liberals to get on it, and so they can say, "See, this is what the liberals are doing."
The thing is,
they're anti-Christmas.
I mean, who knows where ideas are originating from, and that's the type of thing that, like there have been times where people have accused that of being the other way, that the liberals are planting the idea and that they're behind it, or well,
I mean, it sounds like it would be the liberals are doing it, but I don't know. Is it really some conservatives that's saying, "Hey, let's put some hate on this song and blame it on the liberals"? You see what I'm saying?
Right, but
they're doing anyway.
But I've seen that argument being made the reverse way for opposite issues. That the base that's against it says they're in favor, puts out the idea of being in favor of it to try to get the other side to take up a ridiculous cause so they can point them out for being right.
Sure.
And you know what? I don't know. I don't know, and that's one of those things that you can really only speculate, and speculation only gets you so far. All we can do is form our own opinions about it, and you know what? If a radio station wants to ban a song, it's stupid. You can have an opinion that it's stupid.
Right. Yes, they're right.
And you can go, buy a record of it. Heck, I got 2 different 78s of "Baby It's Cold Outside." I could listen to them anytime I want to.
Or you could probably pull it up on YouTube, right?
I could. Or I could pull up the mock video that shows some guy trying to date rape a woman. One thing that sticks out in my mind, and this is something that I can only bring up as a topic, and I don't know where to go with it, because it's the type of thing that is hard to resolve if when someone brings up an argument of what worked for them. Because generally, we've reached a point where you don't want to harass people, and harassment is seen as a bad, negative thing. And, if a woman says no and expresses that they're not interested, then at some point there's a line that you don't want to cross. But where is that line? And there's a guy that is on my Facebook that I see him post things now and then. And he kind of talks about how back in the day, in the 60s, when he was in college, that he fell in love with his future wife, and she wanted nothing to do with him, but he knew that he was gonna get her, and so he was persistent, and it worked out. And I think he told the story with the tone of back in those days it was called being persistent, or or it was but nowadays it would be harassment, or
it's called stalking.
And stalking, yeah. And but he kind of took a tone of scoffing at today's overly PC culture, whereas back then it was you did it, and sometimes it worked out. And I don't want to encourage that kind of behavior, but it worked out for them, and they end up together, and they have a family. And it's how do you address that? What do you say to that? I mean, obviously he in this case, it wasn't too far. But someone else might have felt uncomfortable and would have felt it was too far, you know?
Right.
And I think that's where you get a divide because there's no clear answer. One person is fine with things being persistent and will say no, and someone else really wants you to stop. And you're taking a gamble there. And nowadays, you know...
Nowadays, you run into the problem of this. People will find anything to get upset about, offended at, or whatever, just because.
Oh, I'm trying to add you. Oh, we cut off venison.
Oh yeah, that breaks my heart.
Wait, we have time to break everyone's heart.
No, you don't. I'm on a schedule.
You're on a schedule. All right. Well, we're. Oh, okay.
I need to talk to that ungrateful SOB Brian wherever he's at.
Okay.
I'm right here.
All right.
Hey, listen, Mr. Go Where the Poo Is.
Well, what do you want from me, man?
I want your freaking house. What part of I need to come to your place and hang out did you not understand?
Well, you didn't give me a notice. I'm in Studio 1, not Studio 2.
Bullshit. I sent you a tweet when I was 20 miles away from your place.
20 miles?
That's
a
notice.
I was 2 hours away.
How the hell did that happen?
Who's 2 hours away?
I am.
You?
Yes.
So? That's what the key's under the map for.
That's why the keys are in dog poop.
Oh God! I'm telling you guys,
man, it's just a miscommunication.
You think you have a friend, and
I know, but
I was told there's going to be beer that I won't drink anyway because I'm not drinking beer.
Okay.
I probably drove past your house. I saw lots of people surfing. I know you probably have one that you can actually watch them do that because you're that kind of guy.
Right. No, I'm
Johnny. If you're looking for some places to buy, I found several for sale.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Oh, good.
No, but actually, Brian was saying earlier, in all seriousness, he wished he had more of a heads up because he wouldn't mind, hanging out for some lunch or dinner or something.
One of these times, and maybe I will be back after the first of the year.
Fantastic.
And it won't be as hectic as this. I'll actually get with you, and we'll see if we can't make that happen.
Yeah. No, I mean,
here.
Like if you can give me a week's notice, that would be fabulous.
I've got to, Johnny. Are you able to screen share?
Yeah, I could do that.
How can I get 2 pictures to you?
What
would be the best way?
Well, tweet, Facebook, Messenger.
Well, I want these. I don't want these on. I'll do Messenger. I want these private so you can show them and I can get an on-screen reaction.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because I want to. Since I didn't get to do the Sunday show and I'm taking over yours right now.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. How you doing?
We put Jay Booger in charge, so you got to be careful.
Yeah. Well, Jay Booger will let us know if he approves or disapproves of this call.
So I'm going to show.
Oh my God! Did he get pictures of me with no pants?
Yeah, those are on a whole different hard drive. Those are on my burned hard drive.
Burned in the fire hard drive.
I got to see the 18th hole at Pebble Beach.
Yeah.
It was fun. I got to see... What else did I get to see? I got to see all kinds of stuff. Gosh, I don't have a picture of it. Okay, I'm going to have to... Okay, I'll let Brian explain. I'm going to send this picture here, Johnny.
Okay.
So Brian, out on the wharf, there's a fish factory. You know the one I'm talking about?
Okay, John, do you get that yet?
Yeah, I'm bringing up the picture now.
But Brian, you know the one I'm talking about, right? There's a fish factory.
Yeah, there's fish factories all over.
Out on the wharf,
right?
Yeah, on the wharf.
Yeah.
Out on the wharf.
On the wharf. Yeah, sure.
Yes. Okay. So there's that fish factory out there. It's Sunday. There's nobody around. We're just walking around, and these are just big vats full of fish guts, basically.
Oh, those must smell nice.
Okay. Well, if you don't zoom into it, but if you notice on the top of that on that thing, you see there's something that looks like it's like blue, little bitty thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Prepare for whatever this is. I don't know. I'm just gonna just shut up and let it speak.
Okay. We're going to bring up the zoom in here.
Brian. What the fuck?
What the? Wow.
What the F?
So the fish are...
In what universe would this be possible at a fish rendering plant that somebody went, oh, excuse me, I might be pregnant. I should check. I will drop trowel, pee on this, what's this thing say? Clear blue?
Clear blue.
Yes. You know the only good news about this whole thing?
Not pregnant.
Not pregnant.
Not pregnant.
Can we get applause there, please?
I believe.
Thank you. So, thank you. So, you know what? There's just certain things you can't make up. That's one of them.
Certain things you can't unsee
now, were there
either.
more than one, or was that it? Just one?
That's the only one I saw, and it's as close as I wanted to get. I was kind of not wanting to be near the fish guts anyway.
I
But
take it
I don't know what it
was.
was. I don't know what it was that drew me over there to look anyway. I just saw. I said, I wonder what that is. I said, OMG.
Wow.
So
wow.
And there was
So,
nobody
yeah.
around. There was nobody around to ask, what the hell is that?
So yeah, that happened.
That happened.
Because in
that
April, when squid season is open, and you look out, into the bay at night, you see this row of ships. They're all lit up. Well, because they're fishing for squid. That's how they do it. They turn on the bright lights. The squid come up, and they just scoop them up.
I did get a
Right.
couple of pictures of Brian's house. There's one there, and there's one right there. There we go.
All right, let's see.
So if you people wonder where Brian lives, he's roughing it when he's at he's at Monterey.
Somewhere around
that's
there.
it.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, that's a good picture.
That's actually not Monterey. I think that's actually, I don't know if that's Pebble Beach or Big Sur. That's that Frank Lloyd Wright house that's right there on the ocean. It's really cool.
Not bad.
Yeah,
So
not
you're
too
having
shabby.
fun.
But anyway, it was a nice trip.
So-
I don't like fish, of course. But
So dude,
Oh,
you
now-
didn't want
now-
to share
now-
that experience on your
now-
Facebook? I would have thought you.
does he know where this place is? This is also on the wharf.
Are you trying to pick out meeting spot locations you're doing? Is that what's?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I did. I mean, I took some of the usual, the usual pictures.
Uh-huh. Hey, they got
You know,
toys.
Okay.
You can see the
Yeah.
neon sign in the back. They got toys.
You got toys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I know I was going to ask you before I let
No
you go.
comment.
So there's the 18th green on Pebble Beach, so now I can say I've been there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the fun of that is, but
Do you
Is
swim
this
the
a-
club?
is this a video or is this a? I don't know what this is, but it's taking a long time to send. There's these things on the beach that look like big, like eels or something. They're about the size of a fire hose. They are the funkiest looking things.
Oh, like 9 feet long, ish.
Well, yeah, like or longer. But they're treacherous.
Oh.
Look. Oh, I guess I just sent you a video.
And they're brown, right?
I didn't mean. Yes. What are those things?
Yeah, those are kelp. And the big
Oh, okay.
bulbous end
Well,
is like
but
a float.
Yes.
Yes.
A big head that looks like a serious head with like hair on it. It is
Yeah, well, those are like
freaky.
holdfasts that hold it to the bottom.
Okay.
And generally,
Yeah, I don't think I ever want to swim in the ocean.
No. Generally, they're in the ocean, anchored to the ground. They don't hurt anything. But when you have a storm
Yeah.
come through,
Yeah,
it
we
tears
saw-
those things up, and they end up on the beach. and
Seal
stuff.
and that and the duck. Anyway, the usual stuff.
Oh, were you out on the water? Or was this
What's
from
that?
shore?
No, that's from that's from the pier. There's on the other side across from where the fish place is. There's a restaurant that overlooks the water. We were there eating.
The fish house? I think
That's
it
it.
is. Yeah, I love that place.
Yep, it's actually
And
pretty
dude,
good.
up there
if you
sometime.
hate to kill, try swimming with jellyfish.
Ooh, no.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys see? By the way, did you? I think I tweeted this picture. Did you guys see that? Let me see if Brian can.
I didn't see it tweeted, but I'll. This is what is
I
that?
didn't see that one.
This is cool. Here, I'll tweet the first picture of it here, so you can see exactly what it was. Here at the rig, there's next door to where our place is. There's a place that does, has refrigerated treaders and whatever. This treader is just sitting there against the dock, and it's just there like always. It never moves. And let me see if I can find it. Here we go. There it is. And what it is the water, the condensation drips off the refrigerated unit, and it lands on the ground, and then the dirt blows, and it kind of grabs the dirt. And it's like turned into its own little ecosystem. It's like there's a little berry growing in there, and a little tuft of grass. It's really kind of cool. I mean, it just goes to show how well things grow in this area.
Yeah,
it's pretty amazing.
That's
Really?
Interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah, this place like the lettuce and the stuff like that, and they turn that stuff. I think they said 6 weeks seed to picking it.
Oh,
that's pretty quick.
Which that's insane. Yeah.
So how many crops a year do they get? Do they say?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just because I'm
I know
sure
down
there's.
in Santa Maria they do broccoli, and they have
there's all
6
kinds
crops a year.
Yeah, I would say there's, and I'm sure there's. It seems like the one that's out by where we're at that I see it changes. So I'm guessing they have a rotation to keep the soil healthy of what you put in there. So I don't think they just haphazardly do that
they
stuff.
still use
There's probably some
fertilizer, too.
people. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's one of the better pictures I was going to get. And I may have told Johnny about this, but one time when we were here, out in the middle of the field, there was this tractor, and it was pulling a trailer with a great big tank on the back, and it was spraying chemicals on the ground.
Yeah.
And behind this big tractor that was about 12 feet long or longer of this spray, there were 5 guys. 4 of them were dressed in your normal jeans, shirt, hat, whatever, walking along behind this thing. Number 5, who was within handshake distance of the other 4, was wearing a full Tyvek suit and a respirator.
Yeah.
Let
He was
that
the smart
sink
one.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm guessing might have been the supervisor.
It could have been.
So,
could have been.
Not cool. I don't know what
Maybe
that
he did
stuff
that
was.
because the shall we say the underlings would spray the guy directly.
Possibly. But I just sit there and think to myself, how could it possibly be safe for these other 4 people if this guy's dressed like he's going to go on a mission to Mars?
Right.
So,
there's a lot of odd things.
Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it didn't look.
Now,
cool
were you
to me.
in the town of Salinas when you saw most of this, or?
Yes.
Or Spreckles?
Yes.
Did you go through Spreckles?
No, I know where that's at. I mean, we don't go through it on the way here because we land at. Oh shit! What the hell's the name of that town? The big city near here.
Salinas.
An hour away. No, where the plane lands. We drive here.
San Jose.
San Jose. Yeah, we land at San Jose and drive
okay.
here. So
Yeah.
So we go through the place that has the garlic.
Yeah.
Which I can't think of the name of it.
Gilroy.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And you want
Which
to
is-
shut down your car because sometimes of the year it really.
Yeah, it depends on what time of year you go through there. It's pretty freaking healthy. It'll smoke you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well,
so
I tell you what,
Spreckles.
I see somebody actually waving at me. I need to go take care of something.
Okay.
There's oil spraying everywhere.
Oh,
okay.
You better
So
go
anyway,
tell that.
All
you
right.
better go take care of that.
Thank you
So
for
anyway,
calling.
we will. Yep, you guys take care.
All right,
Bye
great.
bye.
Oh, that's fascinating.
All right, we're sorry, Venison. You got completely cut off in the middle of something, so I don't know if you still
Yeah,
have
I
your train of
noticed that.
thought.
I was like, what the hell how the hell did that happen?
Yeah, well, I went to take Dune's call, and it like cut you off as part of the joining process. So it was, yeah. But go ahead.
Yeah, then it called me back.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry.
Join that
I'm
way.
sorry. Skype never does anything wrong. Their software is perfect without bugs. That was all completely my fault.
As Jay Booger will point out.
As dictated by Jay Booger.
Uh-huh.
So continue on, Venison.
Yeah, before Dune left, I was going to recommend, speaking of beer, going to recommend a beer for him and you guys. I got this a few days ago, and I like it. You know, from the Great Lakes Brewing Company. It's called, get this, Edmund Fitzgerald Porter.
Ooh, that sounds good. Yeah, I would drink
Tribute of
that.
the ship.
Yeah, that's, you know, they made this in dedication to the ship. Company's been around for 30 years, and it's a dark beer, a little heavy, but it has a kind of nutty flavor, and also a flavor that just generally makes you think harvest. Best way I can explain it. The good side of harvest.
I do like a good porter.
It's delicious. And I killed this 6-pack in one day.
And that porter's pretty strong stuff. So that's yeah. You're
I
feeling pretty
found
good.
that out.
Did you? Yeah. Well,
that was good shit. Want to find some more of that around here? Or rather, buy some more of that around here. Get a case of it.
yeah. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. See if we get that around here or not next time I'm checking out the brews. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently it is getting around. It's out in California, very many places.
Cool.
Cool.
Brian, did you have anything to add?
I have to admire Dune for, checking out the sites.
Yeah.
Sharing it with us.
And sharing his pregnancy test with us.
Really?
Yeah.
And I'm happy with those results.
Yes.
God.
Yeah, well, hopefully after January when he comes back in, they'll have to, you know what's really too bad? What's really too bad is that my company is actually doing a office relocation in San Francisco, and 2 of my coworkers flew out to San Francisco today, which means if I got the lucky draw there and got to fly out to San Fran, I could have grabbed Dune. All 3 of us could have gone hung out somewhere tonight.
Sure.
But unfortunately, no. I'm stuck here to hold down the fort while the other 2 guys go have fun in San Fran. Yeah, well.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't.
Yeah. I got to go out to San Fran the last time that they were doing something there, so I guess I figured, well, it's their turn now. So, yeah. Anyways,
well, I wonder what was there. Why I didn't go look around. Damn, I was there for like 3 weeks.
So
when was that?
Oh, this way back in the 70s. I was in the Navy. I was going to school on Mare Island.
Oh.
And I just could have taken the bus, gone over there, and looked around. But I didn't do that. I don't know why. I think it might have been because of the earth tremor.
Well, there is that.
That bothered me.
Anyways, my last purchase to cover is I didn't realize this until my Christmas shop my record shop this past weekend. The reason I pulled out the South Soul Orchestra Christmas Jollies, rather popular Christmas album, is I never realized they made a second one.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You get 2.
Yeah, it's South Soul Orchestra Christmas Jollies 2. And this came out... Now, the original one came out in 1976. This came out 5 years later in 1981. So 5 years later, they decide, let's make another one. And I gotta say, this one's not as good. It's all right. I spent $3 on it. Oh well. So if you see it and it's cheap, and you like the first one, maybe spend $1 or $2, perhaps $3. But really, you only need the first one. Anyways, on that note, I think this brings another fun-filled episode of the Jay Booger Show to a close. And we hope that we get some kind of stamp of approval for some portion of the show. I mean, there's got to be at least, 5 minutes that you didn't absolutely want to, murder us. So maybe that's a good starting point. And, yeah, we look forward to your comments. Or lack thereof. Either way, it's a win. And, if anything, we try to be educational. And I know I've learned a whole lot. But let's start with Venison, since he's laughing here. Venison, what have you learned this week?
Well, I've learned that you learned how to change diapers, and you have this obsession with people's pants off.
That was definitely one of the big themes.
Well, it's one of the themes of the show is the, option of pants and when they're required and when not. I mean, this is something that we really should talk more about because, let's face it, society is built on pants. Because first we were roaming around naked, and then someone invented pants. And that's
was it like early this year?
Yeah, that's what ruined the whole
thing
thing.
For the year was going to be Twinkie pants, and we haven't focused on that.
You know what? The Twinkie Pants domain name expired this week, and I did not renew it. So,
oh man,
Twinkie Pants just never happened.
Right. We just didn't get the mileage.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a songwriter, and Damon wouldn't help me write. The song.
This is one of the things that Jay Booger never forbade us on is Twinkie Pants.
No, he never weighed in pro or con.
Maybe he likes that.
Maybe he likes.
Right?
You know what? If Jay Booger likes Twinkie Pants, he can have the Twinkie Pants. All you have to do is stuff Twinkies in your pants, sit down, and the domain name is available now if you'd like to go register it.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So please, by all means, Jay Booger,
and there's
shove
that
it.
whole, like you're going to go on a diet, you want to lose weight. They tell you what not to eat.
Twinkies is generally on that list.
The thing that I have a problem with is that they never tell you the alternatives. So if you're not supposed to be bacon, what is the substitution for that? If you're not supposed to have sugar, what's the substitution for that?
Sugar-free pudding.
And but they taste terrible. Give me something.
Actually, sugar-free chocolate pudding, not that bad.
Okay, I think it's bad. But again,
it is bad.
Or maybe so the pudding is bad.
It's not as bad as Diet
something
Pepsi.
else. How about something else entirely that you could live with?
Well, you know me, I do Atkins, so sugar-free chocolate pudding made with heavy cream is like the only sweet thing I get. Bacon, I could eat all the bacon I want. I could eat eggs.
Yay, bacon.
I could eat steak. I could eat meat. I could eat. Yeah. There you go.
But then on the prohibition list, you're not supposed to eat. Was it potatoes?
Potatoes, breads, pastas.
So again, what is the alternative? You're gonna have that meat. What are you gonna have it with?
More meat.
More meat.
More meat.
No pasta.
No, that's full of starch too.
Anyways,
see what I'm getting at? Or maybe you say, well, you could have broccoli instead.
Well, and what I'm getting at
if you don't like broccoli, go for the lima beans.
But what I'm getting
I
at,
love broccoli and cheese sauce.
But what I'm getting at is, what did you learn this week, Brian?
See, and I was getting to that. So Jay Booger is just telling us what he doesn't like.
Right.
He should be also telling what he does like.
I think he likes disco.
Right, because he never said he didn't like it.
No, he never said he didn't like disco. He said he doesn't like my Christmas records, but you know what? I brought the disco out this week. So I think that's what it was, is that he wanted me to go in the direction of disco.
Yeah. See, there you go. That is my point.
So that's what you've learned. You've learned that Jay Booger likes disco.
Absolutely. And Twinkie pants.
And Twinkie pants.
Christmas disco.
Why not? And I've learned that Dune is not pregnant. And on that note, I think that draws a close another fun-filled edition of the Jay Booger Show. So
wait a minute, was that Dune that did that?
I wasn't paying attention. That's what I'm going with. Dune not pregnant. Hey, you know what? You know what? Either way, I think it's a safe bet that Dune's not pregnant.
You saw the image.
Could he be arrested for that?
Dune sent me a picture of a pregnancy test that said not pregnant. I interpret that to mean Dune was telling me that no, he is not pregnant. So, there you go. I mean, why else? Why else would anyone ever send a picture of a pregnancy test to someone?
Using fish products.
Okay, maybe the fish weren't pregnant then. Maybe. Well, you want to check that because you don't. If you're gonna rip the guts out of a fish, you don't want to rip the guts out of a pregnant fish. So you test them and then you gut them, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, pregnant fish shouldn't be so bad. You have the fish and sardines.
But it could be the requirement of the commercial fishing license is you don't want pregnant fish.
I thought you said commercial fisting license, which is a whole different.
No, I'm pretty sure I said fishing.
Yeah. Well, that's not how you get pregnant anyway.
That could have worked. That could have worked, Lyle.
Oh, it's bad at the store that had, dressing rooms that said they had one that said fisting rooms.
Fisting. Yeah, well, on that
Probably
note,
fitting rooms.
Fisting, fitting, it's pretty much the same thing,
close.
Right? Yeah, it's pretty close. Because you got to fit the fist in there. I mean, fisting is really fitting. You're fitting a fit. Anyways, on that note,
yeah.
I maybe that's what Jay Booger wants more of. More fisting.
No!
On that note, once again, you need to take off pants if you're going to do fisting. On that note, thank you again.
Put the pants back on.
Thank you, Venison. That is what I've been trying to accomplish these past 2 hours. That's been my goal. Get Venison's pants back on. And I've accomplished it.
Just threaten him with fisting.
There you go. As soon as you say fisting, the pants come on. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We do try to be fun and hope that you've enjoyed at least portions of this show. But if not, that's okay, because there's other fun-filled entertainment to be tuned into. Tomorrow, Video Vamp and Kevin Chicken Fingers go on and do their show. And the great thing about that is it's like they're each hosting their own show in their own little world simultaneously and go back and forth as if they're having a conversation. But if you listen to them, it's basically two completely different conversations going on in each of their heads. And it works in its own strange way. And besides, Chicken Fingers is usually looking at porn. We also got...
well, I am too.
That explains a lot. And then there's Reckless Radio? No, they're not on. The Trade Dog Hour? No, that's not on anymore.
I got some on right now.
Yeah, but there's the other guys that are on Saturday, and then on Sunday we got the Dune and Bob show. Also, I do a thing on Saturday nights at what time do I go on? 8. Yeah. 8 o'clock I go on Saturday nights and do a little video game playing. I think we got a Santa Jetpack PC game we're going to try to play with next show, so you might want to check that out Saturday.
You do?
Yeah. We do. I do.
Never knew that.
Saturday nights at 8, me and Kristen play video games on the internet. Jay Booger hates it. So, yeah.
Well, you do YouTube and Twitch, right?
Right. So
yeah.
Jay Booger can hate it on YouTube, and other people can hate it on Twitch because I don't have as many fun ticks as the Tourette's girl does.
Oh yeah, YouTube works on this thing. Yay.
Anyways, thank you for listening, and good night.
Good night. Remember to change those diapers.